so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you'll be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, at optimistic.tv, we have officially begun releasing the first few episodes of our new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video variety talk show, Optimistic, which features live visionary art, soul share interviews, retreat guests here at the Mystic Manor, as well as live musical performances. I'm also super excited to announce that we are currently making plans to release the rest of Season 1 on my personal favorite online streaming service. So stay tuned to optimistic.tv to follow the unfolding development of this exciting Optimistic expansion, as we'll be posting more info and release dates there soon. And in the meantime, be sure to check out, of course, the first few episodes at optimistic.tv as well. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. Here we grow again. It is a magical Monday here in the studio as I record, and I am grateful to be back with you guys as always. Today, what shall we do? I think I'm going to read a little bit from a book that I've had for a minute by a guy named Paul Selig, who is a renowned channeler, definitely a rising star, I suppose, among, many channels out there. And as I say, by the way, about channeling, it's one of those things where people who claim that they're receiving information from, the other side, beyond the veil, multidimensional beings or extraterrestrials or whatever it is. I always say, I haven't had it happen to me per se, but I'm completely open to the possibility that it is happening to those who claim it is doing so. Oftentimes, some of my favorite teachers are claiming that they're channeling, and the information they're sharing is just mind-blowing. And Paul is one of these guys. So, I tend to believe, would it be any weirder that some, non-physical entity is coming through a human vessel communicating than the fact that, consciousness itself is coming through any human vessel, right? We've just gotten so accustomed to how unusual it is that we exist at all. So that is the case with Paul. He's claiming to be a channel, and the information is just so profound and mind-provoking and inspiring. So I received this book actually a few months ago, quite a few months ago, as an advanced reader copy before it actually came out, which it was released in August of 2020, I believe. So you guys might want to check it out. He has another book called I Am the Word. This one I'm going to read from today is called Alchemy. And I'm going to just pick a random spot here where there's a question and sort of answer that happens. My partner Karen actually shared this with my son Bradley a while back, and it was, super timely in his life. And I think all of us can relate to what is being talked about here in this whole thing of getting wrapped up in finding our purpose and what should we do with ourselves and who are we supposed to be. And I think that is one that, everyone can identify with, whether you're just starting off, in your adult life, like my son Bradley, or, you're well into 25 years of a career that you feel like it's not fully fulfilling you, and you have more to offer, and what else should you aspire to? And so I think this is something that everyone faces and gets tripped up by oftentimes. So this is such a powerful share on that topic. from Paul, and as he channels this information, I will read it. It's a not too terribly long here, and then afterwards I'll talk a little bit about what we read together, and let's explore. This comes from, like I said, the book Alchemy. I'm just reading. This is on page 59 of the book, called "The Resurrected Self" is the actual chapter name, and here we go. Why do you ask questions about what you should be and negate what you are? Because you have been taught what to be, what is of value, what you should aspire to, through cultural agreement of a status quo that was, once upon a time, perhaps a good idea. The realization of the divine self trumps all these things. It knows what it is, so does not seek to prove. It has no objective but realization in all it sees, so its requirement is being. Now, to decide what you should be, I should be an accountant. I should be a librarian. Are opportunities to learn through a profession. You may choose to learn through any endeavor you undertake. But if you truly understand realization as the divine self, you must come into accord with the what that you are that exists beyond those things. Those ways of being known in an external world that would support identity as a small self. The teaching this afternoon, as we continue resurrection, is an obligation to a path taken. I studied to be an accountant. What am I without that? I was taught to be a mother. Who am I without that? What comes to me if I am not desiring something? What is there for me if I am not seeking something? The divine self, as who you are, seeks reconciliation with every aspect of self, and that includes the aspect of self that must support herself in physical form. The true self, as you, does not abnegate your training. It supports your training in a higher use. If what you emboldened yourself to be through your actions, I have become an athlete, I have become an astronaut, is no longer in alignment with your true self and its mandate for expression, you will find something other. Or better said, it will find you. You will be claimed as the authority of your decision in an entirely new matter. The vibratory self who announces herself, I have come, I have come, I have come, is the authority that you have come to be in a resurrected state, and her ambition is to be in accord with her truest nature. It does not blame you for having failed in school. It does not torture you for your misguided dreams. It loves you as you are, because how could it not? The idea of self-love, which we will attempt to describe later, has been so misunderstood that you don't understand that the divine as you, who claims all things, claims in love. And true love must always be of God. Now, if you have a desire for achievement in the manifest world, there is potential that you have come to engage in realization through that act. The teacher learns through the act of teaching. The mother learns through the act of motherhood. Each of you comes with agreements for opportunity you will seek to engage with and realize yourself through. When you outgrow a form, an aspiration, your life is not ended. It is being rerouted in a new way, and as those achievements that you thought were so necessary are seen for what they have been, ascriptions to the culture that taught you what to want, you reclaim the self in other ways. Now, the fear for some is that if you stop striving, you will not receive. And you understand to be the recipient of anything means to grab it, get it while it's hot, get it while it's present, or it may never be again. And the culture of grabbing the brass ring upon the carousel, next time I may get it, seeks you reaching when you might as well receive. Now, when you reach for something, you may claim it, learn through it, have engagement with it. But the divine as you does not reach in the same way that the personality structure was instructed in doing. It does it rather indifferently, because the true self knows who she is. She is in alignment with her requirements for all things. If she is called to act upon the requirement, she may do so in consort with the requirement and know the actions that she must take. This is rather different from deciding what you should have and running around doing your very best trying to get it. The idea of receptivity has been claimed by some of you as passivity. I will sit on my duff. My needs will be cared for. I eschew work. Someone will provide for me. And you attend to your life as an indolent child who wishes to be taken care of by a benefactor in the clouds. True reception is an agreement and an alignment. To receive the kingdom is to claim the kingdom. The one who claims the kingdom is not striving for the kingdom. He is aligning to it. In alignment, you receive. In reception, you claim and agree. And if you are called to act upon that, you may well do this. Now, the true self, in ambition, pretends itself to be other than it is. What does that mean? He asks. How could the true self pretend? If you are instilled with an idea, a deep longing that you have claimed as a small self, I desire one day to travel the seas. The design to be a sailor and sail the seas was gifted to you at the level of agreement as the true self manifests through the lessons of the sailor. You may think it is the small self decreeing what she should have, and not the true self who has claimed it for you. I met a man at a party. I knew him my whole life. The instant our eyes met, we knew one another. What a coincidence that must be. You understand synchronicity as divine order, the place and time for engagement that will lift you to a high accord. The summoning of the event may well be done by the divine self, but it's the small self who says, I guess I will go to the party. I guess I will go to that party. Again, the divine is imposter. You get to think it's you. You're being supported beyond the small self in recognition of what would be gifted to you. To become receptive in the kingdom, or the upper room, will be the subject of subsequent teachings. We wish you now to understand that becoming receptive does not mean that you are disengaged from the material realm, but that the engagement with the material realm has been transformed through the lifting of the material realm to the high octave, and at that level, you are always in reception. But I want things still, he says. I have things I ask for. What of these requests? Is there a place for them still? The request you make, Paul, I want this now, confirms the lack of the thing. To say, I receive this thing now, brings you into vibrational accord. But the thing you ask for in too many ways is still prescribed by identity as small self, who believes he should be met by his desires as he wishes. In attunement or receptivity, all things may be known. But what is claimed by the divine self will always be to your benefit, like it or not. Well, I wanted to marry that one over there. That one wouldn't have it. What do I do about that? Thank your blessings, friend. What a gift that was. Much of what you say you should have must be seen as an idea of a potential, and not all potentials can be received by you as you wish them. Again, the indolent child upon the couch saying, bring me what I want. I am being patient. You are supposed to do as I say. In a resurrected state, the true self as you goes into accord with that which is of like vibration, which then must exist in what we call the upper room. Now, as we continue this text, we have a few things to say to Paul. We misheard a word. He says, you said a word wrong. We said the word right. You interpret it wrong. If there is a wrong interpretation of a word, we will correct it. If we don't correct it, there is no error. Now, enough of that. Back to the studies of the class, the witnessing to this teaching, the reader of this text. What do we do when we aspire to something and do not know what aspect of self is an aspiration? Continue to go to knowing. Again, the true self knows, the small self thinks. You have a barometer within you to understand what true desire is and what is the small self seeking outcome through her objectives. We will complete this teaching now. This is not the end of the chapter. Thank you very much. Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our new sponsor, NewCalm. As you all know, mindfulness and meditation are key components to being the best version of ourselves. However, I would say sleep is even more important because if we aren't well rested, our bodies can't repair themselves properly and we can't perform optimally or think as clearly. So when I first heard that the NewCalm system has been clinically proven in over 1 million sessions to improve sleep and reduce stress without using drugs or side effects, I was excited to get it for my brother to give it a try because he has been having issues with his sleep for many years. The NewCalm system is great because it uses cutting-edge neuroscience and consists of 3 non-invasive and non-pharmaceutical items, all of which are included in a monthly subscription that costs less than a daily cup of Starbucks, which will probably only keep you up at night anyway. So if you'd like to feel better rested and less stressed, head over to positivenewcalm.com, where Positive Head listeners will get 50% off a 30-day subscription of NewCalm, which also comes with a money-back guarantee. That's positivenewcalm.com. YoUnucalm, all one word, .com. Check it out. All right, cool. I definitely know all of you guys out there, either now or in the past or in the future, can relate to this sort of how do I come to terms with allowing things to flow to me versus aligning with the thing and receiving it, right? I love how that was said here. Don't so much as go after learning to align and as opposed to chasing and looking at everything as a potential. Right. I mean, I've been excited about so many potentials in my life. And, at times in the past, it would just be like, oh my gosh, this potential, it's the one. I'm going to chase it. Oh, that didn't go anywhere. That didn't ever quite align, and through a lot of doing that sort of thing, I've learned to sit back more and allow it and notice the energetic impulses of what's happening. Oh, I'm really excited about this thing. It feels aligned. Okay. Does it feel aligned tomorrow? Okay. Oh, even more clarity comes through on what I should do. Oh, wow. Doors are opening and very easily in a way. When something's for me, it must be, this must be for me. That's what happens, right? So I start taking the steps, being very aware of the energy around it and how is it starting to feel forced? Am I fantasizing about something? Am I projecting onto another person, potential partnership or relationship? Or, we've all had that sort of experience, I think, at a time or one time or another. So it all becomes feedback to you, right? It all becomes like, this is data points. This is information. How am I feeling in my body about this now? 3 days later, am I inspired to act? Am I getting ideas that seem to be, kind of just coming through because it's something that higher self has sort of planned for me in a sense? And that's where he talks. I love how he talks about here, this being a sort of a bit of a sham in a sense that we feel like we're sort of at the helm when really it's being at one level chosen, in the higher room in a sense. And so, and if you look at nature in general, this is something I think Alan Watts is talking about, like how much there is. It's like this whole thing is a charade, right? It's like there's constant subterfuge happening with butterflies that look like something else or camouflage, that's happening in nature. It's like we are sort of pretending down here, right? We're acting. And so you have this more expanded version of ourself that is seen and more closely aligned to all that we are. This is a small role you once played. And meanwhile, there's this much more expanded version of yourself that entails all the roles that you play and the truth behind them, right? And that has a very significant role to play in the unfolding of what comes for you. So we're all learning how to do this dance with our higher self. And, I think of a song that I really love that when I listen to it, and I actually played it for some friends this weekend for the first time in a long time, because we were talking about listening to songs that are really meaningful in a way as from your higher self to you, right? And a lot of the lyrics in this particular song, actually, maybe I'll just play it today. It's like one of us is spinning, one of us is standing still, I believe it's the lyrics, and when I think of that, like, that verse in that context, like, it's me talking, my higher self talking to me, right? It's like, this higher self is the unmoved mover, right? And you're down here, my human avatar is down here spinning, experiencing, and so with that lyric, it just kind of gives me chills. It's like one of us is spinning, if I'm remembering it correctly, one of us is spinning, one of us is standing still. I will not forget what was promised you. So your higher self has promised you this, these certain experiences and certain stopping off points. So we can get, caught up in chasing all of these things and thinking our worth lies there. Meanwhile, a lot of times we just get these ideas and start projecting onto others or onto this idea of what we're supposed to be, and to the detriment of actually aligning to that which is already sort of pre-planned for us, orchestrated, this greatest and greatest version of ourselves. And we just need to get out of the way and learn how to be a better dance partner with our higher self, right? Learning to read the cues, the steps, and the energy, the subtle energy that's coming through from the other side to us. And yeah, I've gotten better at it for sure. And I'm pretty sure you have too. And I applaud you for doing what you do. It is the more of us that start to get this dance, stop putting all of our worth on these titles or what does my relationship look like or my job or these things and making that define us. It's like all that is, as he talks about in this chapter early on, or this reading early on, he's like, look, those are just tools for your growth. Like whatever the job is. I don't care if you're the CEO of the biggest company in the world or you're, the local garbage man. Those are tools that are perfect for your growth. And you're there only to get out of it what you're supposed to get out of it for your evolution, right? Just like all relationships are meant for. You come together with another as long as there's an opportunity for growth. Once that opportunity for growth has played itself out, a natural separation occurs, right? So that's all that's happening with your job, with any of those things that you judge yourself based off of a, stupid standard about what success is. You're just holding yourself back. You're right where you're supposed to be, and that growth that's happening for you there is as important as someone playing out their growth on a very grandiose, world stage kind of, a big movie star or entrepreneur or celebrity of any kind, right? They're just growing in a different format, which, by the way, you can too. As soon as you get the message where you're at, you can level up into other things that maybe feel more aligned with what your vision of success is. But don't get it twisted. Don't miss out on understanding you are success right now. Just being, just existing. You are as valuable as any ever soul has been. Whatever part of the journey you're in your evolution matters not from the higher self. It's all viewed as equally important and valid and worthy. And that feels good to know. It is truth. All right. With that being said, I have a song to leave you with. It is the song Plans by Birds of Tokyo. Yeah, listen to it with those ears. Imagine it is a song from your higher self to you. There's a few lyrics that don't necessarily align, as if I recall in the song, as much as some of them, but when I think and hear it in that way. But overall, song is really, really good. Hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, journey well. Love you so, so much. Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
longs to kiss the sun at night. Hopeless dreams.